Joining me now is Alvin Bragg, the co-director of Racial Justice Project at New York Law School, and he also served as Chief Deputy Attorney General in New York State. You're also, Alvin, welcome, running for DA in 2021.
Good to be in dialogue. A lot to talk about.
Is there a devolving relationship going on with the city and the NYPD?
So I think there's a greater recognition by a broader kind of part of the public of some fundamental issues. This is something that I think we're seeing it on video camera now. More people are observing it, but the use of force to break up political protests is not new.
So we saw in July, a protester, Nikki Stone, was picked up by the Warrant Squad. It was caught on camera. It was days after, if not the day after, it happened in Portland. And they were unmarked in an unmarked car, and they just scooped her up. And she was taken into custody and released at 1 a.m. with a desk appearance ticket. And then the NYPD just said, this is the Warrant Squad. This is what they do. How far from the truth is that? Is that just facts? This is how they work?
So, I mean, that was deplorable. And should not have been done. That use of force, that deployment that way. Given, we should note that the allegation was that the person had, I believe, vandalized a camera was the allegation. So right. We're not talking about a murder or a violent crime or anything like that. We're talking about vandalizing a camera, and it does really smack of okay, we're going to have a heavy hand here to send a message, and certainly if that would have a chilling effect, right, or could have a chilling effect on someone who would protest. So certainly a very bad conduct and act, but I would say it's not completely out of the ordinary. I can just tell you about my own personal account. We're not the same in terms of the use of that many officers in force, but I can recall 5 a.m. knock on the door from someone from the Warrant Squad coming to execute a warrant on a family member of mine who used to live at my house, and I believe the allegation was a open container, and I was in government at the time, and I felt I was in my own home. It had awakened. I had a very young child at the time, startled the child. And I said to the officer, look, you got to ask yourself, what are you doing? I mean, I have a docket right now of folks who've done, significant things that are actually relate to public safety. And the fact that you're knocking on my door at 5 a.m. about an open, bottle, and so you need to arrest my loved one and take the person in, immediately, like, what does that say about priorities? Now, that's one officer who was, following orders and was not, probably felt like I was misdirecting my concern, but, and he didn't fully disagree with me, I should know. So I use that example just to say, I was not shocked when I saw this conduct. I was horrified, but I was not shocked.
Doesn't that then follow through that this week, when we're talking here today, this week, the NYPD union, endorsed Trump, and that is a clear message that we have something is definitely happening here that feels very different.
So the endorsement by the union, Pat Lynch's union, of Trump, I mean, it speaks volumes, right? We have a president who has said, rough them up when you put them in the car, right? He has said, shoot at protesters. He has, on the one hand, declined to use federal power to investigate police departments, something that the Obama administration did. I think it entered almost somewhere between 15 and 20 consent decrees overseeing local police departments. Trump administration says, we're not going to do that. We're not going to insert ourselves because of federalism. We're going to take a step back. We're not going to oversee constitutional violations, even sometimes when the local police department requests it, on the one hand. On the other hand, we're going to insert ourselves into places like Portland and police these cities, even when the local leadership says that we don't want it. I mean, so that's a, you know, hypocrisy. And for the union to embrace that and then do it in such a bullish way, again, kind of repudiating, you know, really all that we say that New York stands for.
If I'm protesting, and I find myself, for some reason, maybe there's a warrant out for me, and I'm scooped up like that, what rights do I have?
Well, you know, I think we saw this in the person whose home they went to. And I don't know all the details, right? But certainly, the number one things are, you know, you're not consenting, right? You're not consenting to a search. You're not making any statements, and you're asking for a lawyer. And you know, one of the most upsetting things that we've heard out of the protest is that folks who have been designated as legal observers, so there to sort of provide advice and counsel to protesters, have been, you know, we had reporting about them, you know, being targeted by police. And we had, you know, reporting that, you know, the mayor's own staff was, you know, arrested. So I would say at the top of the list is not giving a statement, not consenting to, you know, any voluntary search, and asking for a lawyer.